Hello everyone and welcome to this week's Everton show. It's Friday night football for the Toffees this week. So we're on Bay TV on Thursday, repeated again on Friday before the match, and also as always on the club's official YouTube channel as well. We're going into the game against Crystal Palace at Goodison on Friday night on the back of 2 straight defeats. So Graham Stewart alongside me, we really do need to get back to winning ways.
Well, we do. 2 defeats on the spin, one in the Cup against Norwich and the other in the Premier League last week against Bournemouth. So disappointing, and 2 disappointing performances really. So yeah, great opportunity to get back to winning ways in front of our home fans against Crystal Palace on Friday night in what should be a really, really good night of football.
The squad is good enough to bounce back, isn't it?
Well, of course it is. I mean, Darren, they've showed that already in the early part of this season that, you know, even when we've probably not really reached the heights that we perhaps like to, you know, we can still grind out and produce magic moments to win games of football. So hopefully there's a little bit of magic from someone Friday night.
Let's hope so. Everton versus Crystal Palace, Friday night football. We won't dwell too much, by the way, on the long weekend to Bournemouth in this programme, but we have got some terrific footage for you to enjoy, as once again we really do get under the skin of Everton Football Club.
Nice to get the win as always against a difficult Man United team. We got good goals at good times. I thought we controlled the game midway through the second half.
Well, it's great fun and glad to be down and be part of it. Some of them are cheating a little bit.
It must be so tempting to lift the blindfold up and have a little peep.
Yeah, I think a few of the lads have been doing it. I've done it myself a little bit, but we'll say nothing.
It's a good chance for take the 3 points and give to the Toffees a good win and enjoy.
Ballie's probably the best footballer I've ever played with, or probably, in my opinion. I mean, I can't take Dixie Dean into that, although his record speaks for itself. Probably the best Everton player of all time.
And by the way, make sure you do not miss the Cullen Harvey interview in part 3 of this week's show. Not only is he a wonderful man, of course, we'll also show you Cullen's first reaction to the initial draft models of the proposed statue of the Holy Trinity, Harvey, Kendall and Ball, and that's very much an Everton show exclusive. Diamond, Cullen Harvey was at Everton when you arrived, and he's a bona fide club legend.
Oh, he is. I mean, he's absolute blue through and through, Colin. A very passionate man, you know, both as a player and as a coach and a manager. You know, he arrived, Howard signed me, and Colin was number 2 at the time. But he was ferocious in training, demanded high standards, a really, really terrific guy, and it's great that the Holy Trinity is going to be seen soon.
Absolutely, a legend. Well, it's a long, long way from Goodison Park to the Vitality Stadium in Bournemouth, and as plenty of us discovered last weekend, it's even further back when you lose. It only needed a single goal to condemn Everton to a first Premier League defeat under Ronald Koeman, and this was the manager's reaction after the game.
Not good first half. Every time too late. Bournemouth was and played with more aggression. And you can't start like we start today. And at least we showed in the second half how you need to start the game. More aggression. We won more balls. We did not create really big opportunities. But at least we showed a good reaction. But too late, because it's what we did not start. That's the problem, because then you need to turn it around, and they were by far the better team in the first half.
They started with real energy, didn't they? And that sort of carried them through that first half, didn't it? We couldn't really turn it around.
Yeah, but okay, that we knew that, because we tried to analyze our opponents, and they try to play football, but also they press you. And they play aggressive on the midfield. And we had too many problems with that.
Graham, as always, the manager is brutally honest with his appraisal of the game, and he admitted then that we didn't start with the same energy as Bournemouth. How can that be?
I don't know. It's a difficult question to answer because, you know, you can guarantee that as they leave the dressing room, they're under no illusions that that's what's expected of them. And, you know, it's disappointing because, first and foremost, the first 20 minutes of a game of football is so important. You know, you start well, you start at the right tempo, you've got a responsibility to get the crowd off their feet, get some crosses in, get some shots in, especially when we're at home. And that's why I'm looking forward to Friday, because I think the fans will demand that of the players Friday. The players will demand it of themselves. And if we start in the correct fashion and we play at good tempo, then I think we beat Crystal Palace. It's as simple as that.
Things can only get better. Right, let's move swiftly on and review another splendid victory for our under-23s. In last week's Everton show, we brought you the highlights of a terrific win away to Arsenal. This week, the Young Blues took on Manchester United, and while the scoreline wasn't quite as emphatic, it was still another 3 points.
Everton under-23s returned to the top of the Premier League 2 table with a 2-0 success over Manchester United at Southport on Monday night. Dominic Calvert-Lewin opened the scoring, his first for the Blues after this defensive mix-up, before Oumar Niasse sealed victory when he converted from Kieran Dowell's cross. United rallied late on, but Matteo Schiult denied Dimitri Mitchell, Callum Connolly deflecting Josh Harrop's follow-up over the bar. Back to the top of the pile then for the 23s, with David Unsworth pleased with another victory.
I thought it was an okay performance. Nice to get the win as always against a difficult Man United team. We got good goals at good times. I thought we controlled the game from midway through the second half without being at our best. But a very professional performance and always nice to win.
And a first goal for Dominic as well.
Yeah, I thought he led the line really well. I thought he looked a threat. His performances in the last 2 games have been outstanding, and he didn't get the goal that his performances deserves. He's got his first goal for Everton tonight, which will be a nice lift for him.
Another great win there for the 23s. And after a disappointingly slow start to the season, the under-18s are now fully up to speed, and the most recent win was particularly sweet. The Toffees youngsters played Liverpool at Finch Farm, and the final score was Everton 4, Liverpool 1. You'll enjoy this.
Everton under-18s earned local bragging rights with an emphatic victory over Liverpool on Saturday. Anthony Evans had the Young Blues in front after just 10 minutes, but this finish from Benny Beningham's pass. Both sides enjoyed chances, and after the break Liverpool levelled through Jan Danda. But on 66 minutes, Evans fired home to put Everton back in front, and Kevin Sheedy's side never looked back. Daniel Bramwell making it 3-1 with this fine effort from a narrow angle. And the victory was wrapped up when Beningame found Bramwell and he tapped home goal number 4 for Kevin Sheedy's Young Blues.
Yeah, really pleased. The week before we beat Derby 6-1, which was our best performance up till then, and then obviously we improved that against Liverpool, where I thought our attacking play was excellent. You know, we set out to hit them on the counter attack, and the players took the game plan into the game, and you know, I was really pleased with our attacking play.
It's back-to-back wins, as you say. Confidence starting to flow now?
Indeed, yes. I mean, we've noticeable. We've had 4 of our main players back to strengthen the team right the way through the spine of the team. So we've certainly improved since we've had them in the team. So it was a really good all-round performance defensively as well. We're still looking for our first clean sheet of the season. We were disappointed with the goal. We succeeded, but take that away. I thought every time we broke forward, we looked a real threat, and it was nice to see Anthony Evans getting 2 goals and Danny Bramwell getting at the back post for getting a tap in. His things we've been working on in training, and it's nice to see them come off when in the games.
Graham, you watch a lot of football down at Finch Farm, the academy games. Choreographed celebrations are a no-no in these junior games, but you could see in the clip there that goals against Liverpool, even at that level, they just mean a little bit more, don't they?
Yeah, of course they do. I mean, when you're playing against them, I defy anybody to not celebrate in the wildest of fashion. So, great credit to the kids there. They've produced a really good performance. And as Sheed said there, it does help if you get a couple of the older ones who have been pushed up to the under-23s, the likes of Anthony Evans. If you can get them back in your team, it helps everybody around, helps the young players in that age group to develop quicker because they're playing with better players as well. And Anthony, got himself a nice brace there as well.
Just shows you what confidence can do, doesn't it? Doesn't matter what age you are. Confidence breeds more confidence.
Well, of course it does. I mean, it's a major part of any sport, confidence. And fortunately, when you're a part of a team, it's a little bit easier than being an individual, but certainly you want everybody pulling together, especially for a derby game. great win, 6-1 the week before against Derby, and they carried that on again in the Derby there. So well done to the boys.
Well done to Sheeds and all the young lads. And that's the end of part one. We've got something a little bit different for you in the second section of this week's show. We were at Goodison Park on Tuesday afternoon to enjoy the company of staff, coaches, volunteers and participants from various Everton in the community initiatives. It was a fabulous event, showcasing everything that's good about our official charity. And as you'll see, we were joined along the way by Jags, Jerry and Seamus. Welcome back to part two of this week's Everton show. I'm at the side of the pitch here at Goodison Park, and behind me is a fantastic event that showcases everything that's really good about Everton in the community. The club's official charity that changes people's lives in the local area and also far, far beyond. We've got Seamus Coleman, Gerard Delafeo, Phil Jagielka, Snods and Diamond are here somewhere as well. Let's go and find out a little bit more about the activities that the boys are taking part in. Well, first of all, we're going to have a look at the blind football. The participants here are putting the blindfolds on and they're having a little game of football. They're currently taking part in a penalty shootout. Seamus, this looks a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's quite difficult as well. But it's great fun and glad to be down and be part of it. Some of them are cheating a little bit.
It must be so tempting to lift the blindfold up and have a little peep.
Yeah, I think a few of the lads have been doing it. I've done it myself a little bit, but we'll say nothing. But this will be interesting now when we do the dribbling and shooting. But it's good fun and it's quite interesting really. The rattling the ball to see where it is. So no, it's good.
The coaches do a fantastic job, don't they?
Oh, brilliant! They're unbelievable, and probably don't get enough credit, but it's unbelievable to be giving up their own time to help out, and it's very much appreciated, I'm sure, by all the lads as well.
Well, we've collared Steve. We've interrupted Steve's coaching session. I'll tell you what, Steve, we'll just watch Seamus go through his penalty. It's clearly not as easy as it looks. In fact, it doesn't even look easy. It looks difficult.
Yeah, it's very difficult. It's really is an acquired skill, and the players that are at the top level, they're absolutely fantastic. The speed of them and their accuracy. It's absolutely brilliant.
We haven't got our own blind football team yet, but there is a team that the boys can join, isn't there?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, on Merseyside, there's lots of opportunities for disabled people to play football. There is a Merseyside blind team which we support and help them find players and stuff like that. Really, yeah. So.
And Seamus has proved it's not as easy as it looks because he's tucked his penalty wide.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's as I say, it's a very individual sport. Very much, it's got really good close control kind of thing, really, and the players work ever so hard at trying to perfect that kind of thing, really. So it's it's a really difficult skill.
You're going to keep Seamus back for a bit of extra coaching?
Yeah, just since he's shooting there. Yeah, I think he definitely needs a bit extra shooting there. So yeah, we'll work a little bit with him.
OK, we're about to have a word now with Graham Stewart. He's helping out with the health and well-being arm of Everton in the community. And Everton in the community is working towards having Goodison Park recognised by the Alzheimer's Society as the very first dementia-friendly stadium in England through the delivery of awareness training to a range of staff at the football club. Graham Stewart is actually reading out the numbers here during the Blue Bingo. We'll just have a listen in and make sure that Graham gets all the numbers right.
Darren, even I can count up to 90, so any time I get it wrong, and to be fair, these lovely people are helping me out with all the correct sayings for the bingo calling, so sorry to bother you, Daz. Top of the shop!
Just explain a little bit about what's going on here, Henry.
Well, it's a group of our Pass on the Memories people that are playing bingo along with Graham Stewart on the pitch, along with a number of other Everton in the community projects. People that are playing are people who are living with memory loss, mostly dementia and Alzheimer's, and also people who are caring for them.
We do a lot of work, don't we, in that area?
We certainly do. We're working with over 300 people now a week that unfortunately are living with dementia and Alzheimer's, and people that are caring for them. And I think the club's a really good vehicle to promote dementia awareness to people, particularly around the city. Unfortunately, some of our former players, who you well know, Darren, are living with and have lived with dementia, and it's giving them an opportunity to come back to the stadium to make them feel, comfortable and safe and in a positive environments, so they can come back to the game, and that's what we're hoping to do. And when we do, we've obviously a few things to do, but when we do, we will be the first dementia-friendly football club in the country, and one of the first dementia-friendly businesses in the city.
Next up, the next arm we're going to have a look at is the employment, education and training section of Everton in the community. And a key statistic there is since 2014, Everton for Employment has helped more than 800 local unemployed people become better equipped to access the job market. Phil Jagielka is just joining in here. Just tell us a little bit more about this. This looks interesting.
I can't tell you, mate, it's all private until we've presented it, but we're picking a team full of animals here. I've obviously put a jaguar in there. I've enforced that rule, but
I can see it right back. You've been thinking of David Unsworth.
No, that's right wing, mate. That's in my dreams. I don't put it centre half. There's no fun at centre half, is there? So we've gone on the wing, make things happen.
And right back, David Unsworth.
Yeah, the rhino. Yep, there we go. And that's what we thought Bainesy looked like, a greyhound. Hey, so we've done quite well so far.
The players enjoy coming down and getting involved in stuff like this, don't they?
Yeah, definitely. Especially when it's a bit of fun like this. Can't really go wrong, can you? You know, as long as we don't show too many lads at work on tomorrow what we've called them. But no, it's good. The communication's fantastic. Struggling with the team name at the moment, yeah. Darren, have you got any ideas, mate?
Leave it with me.
Okay, mate.
We've got to get the word farm in, haven't we? The Finch Farm 11. Just tell us a little bit more about this group that you've got here.
Okay, this group is working on the Working Futures programme, and it's employability led. So we are preparing these young people back to get back into work. So this activity is a very good activity to look at the skills and their attributes, and it gives them planning, organisation skills, and brings them together working as a team, which is fantastic basic qualities for employability.
And they're enjoying themselves, aren't they? They seem full of confidence.
That's what our programme's about. It's about enjoying it, but letting them realise the true skills and their abilities to help them back into that journey to work.
OK, next up, let's have a look at sport development. Gerard Deulofeu very much involved in the activity this afternoon. And the key statistic here is that Everton Schools programme engaged with over 2,500 children last year, delivering almost 1,000 sessions. 2,500 children, 1,000 sessions. It's absolutely fantastic. Gerard Deulofeu has been joining in today. That looked like a lot of fun.
Yes, it's always nice come here and enjoy with the children, and you know, because when you see the smiles of the children is a good for us.
And did you join in? Did you have a go?
Yes, too much. This event is for the children and for enjoy the day, and I'm so happy for be here.
Mick, how's he done, Jerry? Does he need extra training, or is he going to get a place in the team?
I think he'll be absolutely fine in our team here. Yeah, he can have a place anytime he wants. Even having to go to dodgeball there, brilliant. Yeah.
What's the benefits of these sessions, Mick?
Well, you can see it on the kids' faces; they love it. You know, PE is massive for kids. You know, everyone in school has a go at PE, and sometimes it's a good experience for them, sometimes it's not. So our job is to make it a good experience for them every time that we're in the classroom with them, and you know, give them skills, give them that appetite to want to go and take part in sport throughout their life. It's fantastic for the kids to see the heroes here taking part and doing the activities that they're doing and enjoying it. It's brilliant to see. Yeah.
You going to have another go, Jerry?
Sorry?
You going to have another go?
Yeah, no problem.
This is all about sport. It's Premier League for sport, and as you can see, the guys are going through a series of exercises. There's some boxing going on, there's some running on the spot, there's some squats, and it's all under the supervision of Stephen Wynne.
4, 3, 2, 1. Next station, yeah.
Just tell us briefly what's going on here, Stephen.
It's just one of the sessions that we run, Darren, is a boxing session, part of the Breathing Space programme. It's a programme designed to work with vulnerable people within Merseyside. As part of the programme, we run lots of opportunities, like different qualifications, different types of sport and activities, and different pathways across the club. We've currently got a boxing coach now, Ashley, who's come from the free school. She's worked her way up into then doing volunteering, and now she's got casual work with us now, and doing a great job with the young people.
Right, let's just have a quick word with Ashley then. If she finishes the sparring, just keep the gloves by your side for a second, Ashley. And what are you doing here?
Just doing some pad work with Dylan.
The young people enjoy it, don't they?
Yeah, everyone seems to like boxing. Just one of them sports, everyone enjoys it.
How did you first get involved, Ashley?
I used to go to a session on Starfield, and then I went to free school. And from the free school, I just kept in touch with everyone, the staff and everyone.
And you enjoy it as much as the children, don't you?
Yeah, I love doing boxing. Just love being a coach and everything.
I've known Stephen Wynne since he was a young boy when he was in the reserve, so do me a favour, when you've finished here, put your gloves back on and put one right on his chin for me, OK?
I will do. Steve Bostow, isn't he? Might not do that to him.
Phil, this is absolutely fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely wonderful. And it's only a snapshot as well.
Yeah.
You know, there's a whole windscreen wiper of other activities that we could have shown, but these are the ones that players are going to give their time for, and it's just fantastic that they're here and giving that extra impetus to some of the young people and the older people as well.
It ticks every box, doesn't it? Every age group is represented, and not only are people enjoying themselves, it really is making a difference to people's lives.
Oh yes, I mean, we work with children from 3 years of age up to adults of over 75, and the over 75s we're trying to combat isolation. People, you know, don't go out; they're uncomfortable about going out. So we try to bring them into groups and work well. And the one area that I think is really working powerfully is the dementia program around the Pass On the Memories. And when I met a lady the other day, and she's the carer, she said to me, "My mum got up this morning and she said, 'Oh, it's Pass On the Memories today, isn't it?' And she said that's the first time she can remember that she actually remembered something that morning." And when you hear that, you realise the power of what's going on.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed our roundup of all the activities here that's showcasing everything that's fantastic about Everton in the community. The club's official charity really does make each and every one of us extremely proud to be blue. That's just about it for part 2. Don't go too far away though, because in part 3 we've got our big interview, and it's an exclusive interview with the legend that is Colin Harvey. Welcome back to part 3. We've got a 100% genuine Everton legend for you now, with an exclusive first glimpse of the statues that will be gracing Goodison Park sometime next year. The club has been working with the Fans Forum on the Holy Trinity statue, and also on the magnificent artwork that now decorates the stadium concourses. Huge full-colour images of Harvey, Kendall and Ball now adorn the upper Bullen stand, and the irony of that location certainly wasn't lost on Colin Harvey.
Yeah, on a Monday morning, Darren, it was our job to brush up after the home games, and actually it wasn't a bad job actually, because you'd often get quite a bit of money being dropped, especially around where the bar areas were. But no, to say that there's a bit of artwork up on the wall would come as a great surprise after, as I say, those humble beginnings.
When you were brushing up there and picking your coppers up off the floor, did you ever dream that you'd end up on the wall in all glorious Technicolor?
Not at all. I didn't even think I'd finish up actually playing here or ever doing anything like that, because it was such a long way away. It started from when I left school and came here on the ground staff, or apprentice professional as we call them. It just seemed an awful long way away, anything.
And you've stood on the terraces here, stood in the boys' pen when there's been, what, 60, 70,000 people inside?
Yeah, a couple of times 70,000 in a cup replay against Charlton Athletic. It was something like getting on for 74,000 people, Darren, and to think, you know, you got an extra 30 on the 30 to 40 that watch it now.
And it's highly appropriate that Howard Kendall and Alan Ball are alongside you with the artwork in the upper Bullens, isn't it?
Certainly is. I mean, because Ballie's probably the best footballer I ever played with, or probably, in my opinion. I mean, I can't take Dixie Dean into that, although his record speaks for itself. Probably the best Everton player of all time. Howard as well was a fantastic player, a fantastic tackler, and obviously a great manager as well.
Sometimes his achievements, his unbelievable achievements as manager, overshadow his ability as a player, because Howard could play, couldn't he?
Oh, certainly he could. I mean, pound for pound, he's probably the best tackler and first-time passer there were at that time, or even now. I mean, I've seen him go into tackles, not go over the top, not go late, just go pound for pound and win against players 2-3 stone heavier than him, and that speaks testimony of him as a man and as a footballer.
When people talk about yourself and Bally and Howard, the words gentleman are always used, and I can vouch for that. But to survive in the midfield in the 60s and 70s, you had to have a little bit of a side to you, didn't you?
Yeah, well, you might have been a gentleman when you walked on the pitch, but once you got on it, you weren't. Simple as that, yeah. I mean, there was a lot of tough players around that time, and you could get away with a lot more than you can these days. So it was a tough place to be, but as I said, we were different people, but this side of the line than we were at that side.
You still love coming back to Goodison Park, Cole, don't you?
Yeah, well, I get to nearly every home game, Darren. Obviously, take my grandson, who's not a bad little footballer himself, and he's absolutely Everton daft as well, and he's Everton daft as well. Apart from being a decent footballer, he knows every player, he knows every number they've got, every position. He writes his team out before the game. Do you think this will be the team today, Grandad? And he's usually pretty well right, yeah.
Is he aware all about your career as a player and a coach and a manager here, Colin?
Well, his mother tells him a lot, I'm sure, like, you know, so he gets well informed on that side of it, yeah.
He had no choice but to be an Evertonian, did he?
Well, his dad's an Evertonian, his mother was, and all the family have been since time immemorial, so as you say, no chance. But he loves it anyway.
I remember speaking to you on the phone, Colin, and telling you about the statue, and you were lost for words a little bit. That's another step up, isn't it, really?
That's absolutely amazing. I mean, we're talking about standing on the boys' pen, and now you're talking about a statue, you know, it just doesn't bear thinking about, to be honest with you, how far things have come and how far... I mean, the only regret is that the other two aren't here to share the honour.
It will be lovely, though, the three of you immortalised, won't it?
Oh, without doubt, it'll be great to see, and a great thing for my grandson to come and see.
What would Bawley say, Colin?
Goodness knows. I mean, I looked his record up today, funny enough, because someone compared Ghana with him in the paper shop this morning, so I looked it up, and his record was, in all, played 255, scored 80 goals. For a midfield player, that's absolutely amazing. And I mean, it was something like 18, 15, 20 in his first 3 seasons. It's absolutely fantastic. So if Ghana ever gets to score that number of goals here, he will be like Bawley.
Yourself, Joe Royle and Howard Kendall have all described Alan Ball as the best player you ever played with. That's some tribute, that, to Bawley, isn't it?
Oh, without doubt. I mean, he was... He had a couple of autobiographies, but one of them was called Ball of Fire, and that's what he was. He went on that pitch and he just ran himself till he was literally a ball of fire.
Still think about Howard Kendall most days, Cole?
Certainly do, yeah. I mean, it's amazingly, it's almost a year, and that. I mean, I just can't get over how quickly it's gone. It's gone short in certain areas and quickly in others, but. No, I used to seek a fair bit of him, not just here, but in Formby, where he used to hold court, so to speak. But no, I do. Yeah, you miss him because he had that wonderful way. When you first met him, it was a great greeting. You know, he's a man of. He enjoyed meeting people and enjoyed being with people.
And things are going well on the pitch this season, Cole.
Very well, yeah. I mean, the manager's settled in well, and he's certainly got the best out of the players at the moment.
People comparing Idrissa Gueye to Alan Ball, and some have compared him to Peter Reid. It's a little bit too early for that, but he's made a heck of a start.
Oh, without doubt, yeah. He's been... It's reading of the game, and he never gives the ball away. He reads the game, he catches people on the half-turn. No, he is the makings of a very, very good player.
The new signings have all settled in. Ashley Williams, I suppose we always expected him to settle in because he was so experienced.
Yeah, well, he's got the international background as well, hasn't he? And he's been around for quite a number of years. I remember seeing him play at Stockport many years ago. But really? Yeah, simple, yeah. Went with Terry Darracott to watch him, and no, he's settled in very well and showing his experience and bringing it to the game.
And Yannick Bolasie is one of those players, plays with a smile on his face. When he gets the ball, anything can happen.
Certainly can. I remember once again I saw him come on a sub at Barnsley one day for Plymouth, and he just completely changed the game. And you're thinking, why is he so? You know, but he has. He could go from one end of the field to the other in no time at all.
So it could be a good season. Could be a big season for Everton. This
certainly could. Yeah, I mean the makings are there. They've had a fantastic start. Obviously, they've got to play some of the better teams to come yet, but you know. Who's to say that, you know, the Everton aren't one of the better teams?
Graham, you know yourself, when you join Everton Football Club from somewhere else in the country, you joined us from London, you very quickly made aware of the rich history of the football club, and it's entirely correct, isn't it, that Kendall Harvey Ball should be immortalised in bronze.
Of course it should. I mean, you won't get any argument from any Evertonian that this is the correct thing to do. I can't wait for it to, you know, to see it the full size and what have you, and to be up outside Goodison Park. I think it's going to be magnificent, and Colin is really proud. You could hear that, the emotion in his voice and what have you, but tinged with sadness because Bawley and Howard aren't with us.
The artwork that we've seen in the concourses, the big full-colour images, the stuff of Kendall, Harvey and Ball is great. Yourself, Sharpie and Snods are up there as well. It does look good, doesn't it?
It does. It looks terrific, and it just adds to the feel around the place that, you know, we honour our ex-players and people who've had some success at the football club as well. So it's a nice little touch, and I feel a little bit out of place next to next to Colin Howard and Bawley. It's a little bit of a step down.
Well, it's only thanks to you that we're still in the Premier League, isn't it?
According
To Snods.
Don't get him on that one. You know what he's like.
But you do learn the history very quickly, don't you, when you join Everton?
Yeah, of course you do. I mean, we're very, very proud of our history. You're made well aware of what's required of you as an Evertonian, and it's quickly drummed into you. And that's what I love about Everton at this moment in time. You know, all the way through the ranks and the levels, we've got Evertonians and blue blood running through the whole system, and it's what we need to teach our kids.
If you know your history, that's the words of the song, isn't it? Right, let's end part 3 with a truly wonderful piece of film. 8 years old, Thomas Taylor has been battling with cancer for most of his short life. He's as lovely and as brave a boy as you could ever wish to meet, and he loves the blues. It was our pleasure and absolute privilege to bring him to Goodison Park earlier this week so he could meet some of his heroes.
Hi, I'm Thomas and I like my team photo day.
How you doing? You okay? Yeah. Nice to meet you. You're gonna go on the photo with us? Yeah. No.
Thomas is taking this, by the way. 1, 2, 3. Thomas.
Take on.
It's difficult, Graham, to know where to start with that piece of film. Such a lovely boy from such a lovely family.
Yeah, really nice family. Lovely, lovely little chap as well. And he was chuffed to pieces. The lads were brilliant with him, which just made his day. But we first met him before the Middlesbrough game. And he was a lovely, lovely young kid. And there you go. His Rom's boots were nearly the size of him. But Ashley Williams gave him his boots as well, and the lads gave him all the time he deserves.
Yeah, he had a lovely day. Brilliant. And that's it for part 3. Coming up after the break, we'll speak to Phil Jagielka about golf, Idrissa Gueye about tackling, and Gerard Deulofeu about Crystal Palace. Welcome back to the 4th and final segment of this week's Everton show. Now on Friday over in Minnesota, the United States of America and Europe will tee off the 41st Ryder Cup. It's a sporting event that will grip both sides of the Atlantic for 3 days, and we prepared in the correct manner down at Finch Farm with the Daffabet Great Britain against the rest of the world challenge at Crazy Golf. It wasn't quite Mickelson, Spieth and Furyk against McIlroy, Garcia and Westwood. It was in fact Jagielka and Cleverly against Balassi and Lukaku. Jags loves his golf, even if his time on the course these days is fairly limited.
It's difficult. I think when you've got a couple of games a week, there's absolutely no chance. If it's normally Saturday to Saturday game, you've possibly got a game on the Sunday, Monday probably the latest. Then after that, it's all about recovering and getting ready for the game coming up. So it's a little bit difficult throughout the season, but there's the odd occasion. So there's plenty of time to go to the range, have a little bit of a practice, but the manager's not too keen on us spending 4 or 5 hours on our feet when the schedule is as crazy as it is.
Who are the keen golfers in the squad?
Obviously there's myself, Tom, Gibbo plays, Gaz Barry plays, there's a few part-timers in the staff, and I've even got Bainesy managed to hit a few balls on the range and stuff recently, so I'm working on him to try and convert him to a golfer. But there's quite a few decent lads here, good crack, and like I say, it's a nice way to wind down sometimes after a busy game or a busy weekend in football.
Our game against Crystal Palace is on the Friday. I suppose you won't see the first day of the Ryder Cup, but you'll get a chance to watch the second and third.
Yeah, definitely. I think the time difference will be a little bit difficult, but that's what Sky Plus is for and things like that. I'm sure the missus will be delighted to have golf on 24/7, but it's the Ryder Cup, everyone loves it, especially when it's a nice tight one. There have been a few great ones recently, so hopefully, I know we've got a few rookies in the team this year, but they've been playing some fantastic golf, and it'd be nice if we can go over there and beat them on their own turf.
So you're back in Europe to win the trophy again?
Yeah, 100%. You know, I think we've got the team camaraderie, we've got some experience in there, and some really exciting young talent. Obviously, I think this is probably as strong as the American team as I've seen in a long while. But you know, I'll definitely be Ryder Blue when it comes to the weekend.
I think Jag's hit the nail on the head there, Graham. You know yourself, a lot of professional footballers do enjoy a game of golf, but it's not the best preparation, is it? Walking around for 4 hours in all weathers.
That's why they use buggies nowadays, don't they? I mean, they're lazy so-and-sos, I tell you. But no, you're quite right. You've got to be careful as well. Such are the demands nowadays. You know, you're playing weekends and, you know, quite regularly now, midweek as well. So you've got to make sure your recovery's, you know, your first port of call is football. End of story, not golf.
The Ryder Cup is in the US. Will there be an away win?
I hope so. I'm really looking forward to it. I think everybody does, don't they? Those 3 days, and I think Jag's hit the nail on the head as well there. I think there'll be a few wives less than happy with golf for 3 days on the spin, but it's the Ryder Cup once every 2 years.
It can be a terrific sporting spectacle. And by the way, we deliberately didn't show you the presentation ceremony at Finch Farm. If you want to see who lifted the Daffabet Crazy Golf Challenge Trophy, visit youtube.com/Everton to see who won. youtube.com/Everton. Right, from golf balls and miniature windmills to the art of tackling in the Premier League. Not many do it as regularly or with the same consistency as Idrissa Gueye. He's a midfielder with a silky touch, great energy, a range of passing, and he loves a tackle.
Yeah, well, it's certainly very important at the beginning as a new player to mark your territory, so to speak. You know, I wanted to show my skills, my capacity, my abilities, and through that to command that kind of respect. But it's also helped that because of that, I think the other players have accepted me very quickly and helped me to integrate, as I mentioned, into the club.
You love a tackle. Last season, you were the second highest. This season, already, nobody has made more tackles than you. So what is it about, what makes a good tackle? Why are you so good at tackling people, do you think?
Well, you know, some people like to dribble with the ball, some people like to nutmeg other players, they get their pleasures that way, but me, I derive most pleasure from quick passes, running with the ball, you know, reclaiming the ball, doing hard interceptions, and even though you might feel fatigued, to keep running, to run through that fatigue, I like that. It's a fitness match for me, and that's where I derive the most pleasure.
In terms of your manager, Ronald Koeman, he seems quite strict, likes discipline. Do you like that from your manager?
Well, it certainly suits us perfectly. We like the discipline aspect to his game. It leaves nobody in any sort of confusion or doubts as to what's expected of them. He is very rigorous with every player and as the team as a whole, and he says to every player and to all of us as a team that we need to be out there at 100% level of performance every match, and we know, therefore, that we have to give 100% to be part of the team and to be part of his team.
Friday night football at Goodison Park, Diamond, we need people like Idrissa Gueye bang on their A game, don't we?
Yeah, we do. I mean, you know, I love to hear the fact that he actually takes a pride and loves tackling. And every team needs somebody who can win the ball back and has the energy of Idrissa, and certainly the Evertonians have, you know, taken them to their heart straight away.
Why is it a dying art?
I think it's more the way the game's gone now. I think it's very difficult to make tackles in a modern day game. Well, certainly throw yourself into tackles. Anything off your feet is deemed as dangerous these days, and you can't tackle from behind. Even if you get the ball, you're deemed to have gone through the man first. And it's a changing game. I understand the thought process behind it because people want to see good football. But I tell you what, I don't care what anybody says to, you know, certainly Evertonians, they love a tackle. And some of the biggest cheers you get on a Saturday afternoon are good tackles.
I was going to say that nothing gets them going more than to see one of the defenders thunder into an opposition striker. I always speak about Phil Neville on Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah, but you're sending a message out to your supporters and everybody else in your team and the opposition team that you're there for business. You mean business. You're not going to have it easy. And Idrissa does that better than anybody.
Doesn't he just? Right, let's end this week's show with a further look at the Friday night game against Crystal Palace. We've drawn 1 and lost 2 of our 3 Goodison games against the Eagles since they returned to the top flight. And Gerard Deulofeu is hoping to put that right under the lights.
Yes, it's a good game for take another time the 3 points, because we are coming for Bournemouth for a lose 3 points, and yes, it's a good opportunity for Everton for take 3 points here in Goodison and go to international duty with a 16 points, 16 points to 21. I think is a good opportunity.
You came on against Bournemouth and looked very lively. How are you feeling at the moment? Are you confident?
Yes, I'm good, but you know, if you play more, your confidence is more, is much better. But I'm happy. I need to train every day. I need to do a hard work, and I have my opportunities. I need to take my opportunities, and the most important is score goals and do assists for the team. But yes, I'm happy, and the season it's long.
And just looking at the game on Friday, you'll be here at Goodison under the floodlights. How much are you looking forward to that?
Yes, it's a different day because it's no normal play on Friday, but it's a good chance for take the 3 points and give to the Toffees a good win and enjoy.
Graham, Crystal Palace didn't start this Premier League season awfully well, but Alan Pardew has certainly got them moving in the right direction now.
Yeah, he has. They turned it around. They're probably one of the form teams in the Premier League at this moment in time. You know, a good win, really good comeback against Sunderland last week. And we'll have to be on our toes because their record at Goodison, as you mentioned earlier, Darren, is pretty good.
Does that play on players' minds?
It can do. I mean, you always have a bogey team, don't you? And Crystal Palace certainly in the last few years have come to Goodison and come away with points. We need to change that. But certainly a certain Mr. Balassi was in their side at that time. But they've still got that threat. They've got Sahar. You know, they've got Benteke there, Jason Punch, and they're a good counter-attacking side, Crystal Palace, and usually they're pretty solid defensively as well.
They're a dangerous unit, aren't they? You mentioned the players they've got there, and Benteke was right on the button in stoppage time against Sunderland.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it helps when the defenders forget that you're 6'4" and stand 10 yards away from you from a free kick. That always helps, doesn't it? But we won't be making that mistake Friday, that's for sure.
We need goals, don't we? We haven't scored for a couple of games.
Yeah, we do. We need to get back scoring goals, making the right decisions in the final third, making sure the quality's good. You know, Yannick's put a few great crosses in. I mean, one in particular against Bournemouth on Saturday, and Enna couldn't quite get on the end of that in sufficient fashion. So we've just got to be a bit more ruthless in front of goal. I'm sure it will come. We'll score one. We'll score a few.
Normal service will be resumed. Don't worry about that. And that's all we've got time for this week. We've had blind football, crazy golf, statues of legends, goals against Manchester United, goals against Liverpool. What an hour this has been. We hope you've enjoyed it. We've enjoyed having your company once again, and we'll be back to our normal slot in 2 weeks' time. If you're watching on Thursday, enjoy the game tomorrow. If you're watching on Friday, you either live very, very close to Goodison Park or you've pressed the record button. Either way, here's hoping for 3 points off the Palace.